Welcome back to Mouthing Off with Mike, the only wrestling podcast that knows when you're in the ATL where to go for the best chicken wings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my WWE Bad Blood prediction episode. So without further ado, let's get into the first match here on Mouthing Off with Mike.
Mouthing off with Mike, mouthing off with Mike, mouthing off with Mike.
Welcome in to this week's episode of Mouthing Off with Mike. You heard me say it in the intro. Not only if you're looking for really good food, hit me up. I know a couple places where to go down in Atlanta, but we're talking Atlanta, Georgia, because we're talking WWE Bad Blood, the first WWE Bad Blood in over like 2 decades. Triple H decided to pull a little premium live event action out of history, and we got Bad Blood in Atlanta, Georgia, hosted by the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. The theme is by Metro Boomin and Future, and there was rumored to be some surprise guests. So I think Bad Blood is going to be real fun coming at you this Saturday on the Cock. Get your minds out of the gutter. I'm talking Peacock. But let's go ahead and get into the first match here on the predictions. I'm going to start off with former brothers turned bitter enemies, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Well, Finn Balor showed his true colors to Damian Priest back at SummerSlam when he kind of cost Priest the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. And the Judgment Day excommunicated Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest for Liv Morgan to take her place. Now we've got Finn and Priest going up against each other in singles action for the first time with this new storyline. They've wrestled in the past. There's been a couple good matches between the two before they were a part of Judgment Day. But this one is tough for me because you have the Judgment Day nearby. You've got Carlito and JD McDonough. Maybe Dirty Dom and Liv, but we know Dirty Dom's going to be locked in a shark cage at some point during the show for at least the Liv and Rhea match. I'm going to give the win here to Damian Priest. I think Priest will beat Finn Balor in this first one, and then I think we'll probably do like a rematch later on a Raw in a couple weeks. But I'm going to give the win to Damian Priest. Next match we're going to take a look at here is the newest match that was added to WWE Bad Blood. That's the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax defending her title against Bayley, who beat her best friend Naomi in a qualifying match for this match last week on SmackDown. Naomi kind of was upset about it, but she let it go, and the two seem to be friends for now. We'll keep an eye on Naomi and where her allegiances may lie in the future, hopefully with the bloodline. That's just me personally. But Nia Jax here threatened Tiffany Stratton this past week on SmackDown. So my prediction is that Nia retains her championship and Tiffany Stratton cashes in. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think Nia retains against Bayley in a really solid match. And I think Tiffany cashes in. That's like a bonus prediction. I'm saying Nia wins. So if Nia wins and Tiffany doesn't cash in, I still get credit. So give me my credit. But I think Tiffany might cash in on Bad Blood. I predicted that it was going to happen at some point in the fall. And in the fall is kind of here, technically. It'll be October 5th. So, fall, the official first day of fall was last week. So fall is here. Maybe Survivor Series. Maybe Bad Blood. I lean towards Bad Blood. Nia Jax retains. Let me get Tiffany Stratton to cash in. Let's take a look at the other Women's World Championship match. The Women's World Champion Liv Morgan will defend her title against Mommy Rhea Ripley. And as you heard, locked above the ring in a shark cage will be that dirty Dominic Mysterio. The stash and the mullet are getting locked in a shark cage. Something that McMahon wanted to do when Dominic was 8 years old and we had the custody of Dominic Mysterio ladder match with Eddie and Ray. He wanted to actually put Dom hang from the ring. They want to put him in a little harness and just hang an 8-year-old from the ring. So the boyhood dream has been realized where Dom now gets to sit in a shark cage above the ring while his new, I guess she's not his mommy, but while Daddy Dom is in the ring and Liv Morgan has to take on Mommy, I'm going to say Liv Morgan retains her championship. Somehow, some way, Dom is going to get out of that shark cage at some point in this match, or the other Judgment Day cronies will get involved. But I think Liv Morgan retains her Women's World Championship, and I think that's how we end up getting a Women's War Game match with Liv Morgan as the captain of one team and Rhea Ripley as the captain of another team, because if my prediction is right, the Bloodline will have the Men's War Game on the SmackDown side. Give me Liv Morgan, give me Dirty Dom to get out of the shark cage, and hell, while we're getting crazy here, maybe we'll get Raquel Rodriguez back. I don't know what her health status is. I know she's dealing with some stuff, but a lot of people have been talking about maybe Raquel as the muscle for Liv in the women's division. There's a strong possibility here, especially with Survivor Series down the pike. Raquel, Liv, and maybe 2 other women, maybe 3 other women. For her team, it's plausible. Liv Morgan retains. Rhea Ripley continues the quest to recapture the Women's World Championship that she never lost. Let's take a look at the 2 big matches here on Bad Blood. We're going to first start with the American Nightmare teaming with the OTC, the only tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to take on the self-proclaimed tribal chief and the enforcer to the self-proclaimed tribal chief, Solo Sikoa, and the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. This is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me talk a lot about the storyline with Cody and Roman's, how their stories are bound in the same book this past week. Last Sunday on my weekly show when I talked about the McMahon documentary, the Penta Phoenix contract debacle, the new networks with the new wrestling shows, and all the craziness going on in the world of WWE and AEW. But I'll say it again here on the predictions because this is a shorter video. More of you will probably watch this, and this is a really good line that I really like. Roman and Cody's stories are bound in the same book. It makes all the sense in the world as to Cody having to team with a person that he doesn't trust. Roman having to team with the man who took his title away from him, causing him to lose his tribal chiefdom, causing him to lose what left of his family and control he had. This is such a good story. This is so good. You couldn't have asked for a better long-term story, continuation of everything we saw from WrestleMania, before WrestleMania with the Bloodline, and going into this now. Cody and Roman have an uphill battle because Solo and Jacob are on the same page. Cody's got Roman's word that he'll have his back and Cody will have his back, but how far does that get you in a match where you're looking over your shoulder at your tag team partner every minute because you don't know what they may do or if you can truly, really trust them? I don't think Cody and Roman walk out of Bad Blood victorious. I think Solo and Jacob win this match, and I'm standing on business. I could be wrong. I could be delusional. I'll be wrong. I'm always delusional. But I think The Rock returns at Bad Blood, and we set up War Games. We finally will figure out who is pulling the strings, who the elder is that Solo Sikoa was sent by 2 years ago, who continues to pull the strings and brings these new family members of the Bloodline to WWE. I think it's The Rock. I think that's unveiled in Atlanta. You heard me say it on the Nightcap with Chano. Bad Blood is a historic pay-per-view because it had one of the first Hell in a Cell matches. We have a Hell in a Cell match with Punk and McIntyre. But Bad Blood is one of the only pay-per-views in WWE's history that has the name Blood in it. What's the longest ongoing story in WWE, folks? The Bloodline. Say it with me. Like this is an episode of Blue's Clues or Dora the Explorer. Whose tag team has the name Blood in it? That's right, the Bloodline. I think it's a double meaning, and I think the Bloodline story kicks up into the next gear. Chapter 5, 6, whatever of the Bloodline story. We're in inning 6 or 7, as Paul Heyman likes to use his inning reference. Maybe Paul Heyman will make an appearance. Maybe Cody and Roman pull it off, but I think Solo and Jacob win because the numbers game is too much for Cody and Roman with the Tongans, and I don't think Randy nor KO, maybe Randy, but I don't think KO will have Cody's back when he's teaming with Roman. The writing's on the wall for that, and the writing might be on the wall for any allies Cody has in the future because of this tag team pairing with Roman to fight the Bloodline, to fight the same group that took Randy out, that took Kevin Owens out, that KO's been battling for years, that Randy's been battling for years, and that Cody's been battling for years. Great storytelling. Solo and Jacob get the win. That's a hot take from your host here. I'm Mouthing Off with Mike. And lastly, you see the shirt. I got my CM Punk shirt on. So let's talk about CM Punk. Drew McIntyre. Hell in a Cell. What more could you want? I didn't think this feud would go into the Hell in a Cell match, but Hell in a Cell, history, Bad Blood, it's all there. Fill in the gaps. Look it up. Google it. I'll tell you right now, Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood, there's history there. First Hell in a Cell. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, a rivalry that has been going on since before WrestleMania. The seeds were planted. Punk cost Drew his championship win at WrestleMania, causing Priest to cash in. Punk then cost McIntyre his own Money in the Bank cash-in moment at Money in the Bank after he won the match. Later on in the match with Seth and Priest, Punk cost him again. Punk has been a special guest referee. He's cost Drew countless matches. Punk and him are all tied up at one apiece. The last and final match had to be a big one. Punk kind of worked me. He told an interviewer a few months ago that he can't do Hell in a Cell. He's too old. Well, Punk's an old school guy, and he worked everybody because they're inside Hell in a Cell. Punk and McIntyre are going to beat the living shit out of each other, and I am here to tell you, look in my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk walks out of Hell in a Cell victorious against the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. This is going to be a hell of a match. These two guys are going to bleed. You're going to see a classic CM Punk blade job throughout this match. Punk's going to be leaking. McIntyre's going to be leaking. The show's named Bad Blood. You got a Hell in a Cell. You got the bloodline. The only blood you're missing is blood from a human body, and you're going to get that in this match. You're going to get everything you want and more in this match. Maybe not a needle, maybe not a cinder block, but you're going to get a lot of things between these two guys. They're going to beat the shit out of one another. Larry might get involved. Maybe he'll bite Drew McIntyre one time for the one time. Maybe he has to go get a tetanus shot. I don't know what could happen. Anything's possible when you're talking CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell. Bad Blood looks incredible. We'll recap. I'm giving the win to Priest. I'm giving the win to Nia Jax. Maybe a Tiffany cash-in. I'm giving the win to Liv Morgan. Maybe a Raquel Rodriguez return. I'm giving the win to Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. I love you, Solo Sikoa. And I'm giving the win to the best in the world, CM Punk. Ladies and gentlemen, have a hell of a week this week with pro wrestling. Make sure you tune into the Nightcap Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure you tune into the Nightcap after Bad Blood on Saturday. And make sure you subscribe and like and tell me what your predictions are and what match you're looking forward to in the comments. On the audio side, leave a 5-star review, leave a message, whatever support you want to show it your way. Go out there, enjoy pro wrestling. Let's have a hell of a week when we're talking WWE and Bad Blood. This has been Mouthing Off with Mike. I'm Mike. See you guys next time.
Mouthing Off with Mike. Mouthing Off with Mike. Mouthing Off with Mike.